Good afternoon, everybody, or perhaps should I say good evening. It's a silent night here at LaSalle College High School, an annual tradition. And today it's Neumann Goretti, the Saints, coming into town, led by Carl Arragale, to take on the LaSalle College High School Explorers. Bob Long, Joe Winning alongside, Keegan O'Donnell helping us out on camera. We're excited for this one. Should be a great game. And as everybody knows, silence until the 10th point is scored. That's when the fans go absolutely berserk, and it's been a great tradition of this here at LaSalle for many, many years. Let's take a look at the 4 preceding years of Silent Night here on Bob Long Sports. You'll see the strides that this program has made and the strides that we have made. And then a few messages from our sponsors, and then tip-off here on Bob Long Sports.
He's looking good over that 10th point, I think. Paulus is going to take it up to the top of the key.
They call an ISO for Paulus.
Here's Paulus driving in. There you go.
The crowd goes ballistic.
And here's Simon to the bucket, puts it up.
Here we go!
Silent night no more here at LaSalle.
The building is jumping.
They're still fired up. The defense a little more enthused as well. Long jumper, top of the key, no good. Beasley, but taken away by Rothenberg.
I'm not saying I told you so, but I told you so.
Baseline look for Chrysler. 13-4, timeout. Bishop McDevitt, and listen to this crowd roar.
30-second timeout, Bishop McDevitt.
The silent part of Silent Night is now over.
The Explorers tantalizingly close to 10 points here on Silent Night. Chrysler wants it all.
Zach Chrysler.
There they go.
Now the Explorers get a steal. Here's Simon. Goaltending against Seth Pinckney. Got a lot of seniors out there on the floor. Who's it going to be? Zach Chrysler off the glass.
Here we go! Get a TO, baby!
And Titus Beard called for the foul, if you can hear the whistle.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue.
Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
I chose CCM because I have found that this company, on the level of scaling that we have here, the volume that we are doing, to truly have every department head and employee fully engaged in the mission of the company to make it an originator-focused, production-first company. I have not found that anywhere I've worked, and I've worked at one of the largest banks in the world, down to the smallest tiny community bank and correspondent lender. No one has been able to consistently deliver that message.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Nittany Lions Sports Report. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Nittany Lions Sports Report live on Bob Long Sports. Today we're going to talk about the offensive line and our man of the hour, the chef, the man himself, Des Holmes and Mike Miranda, your disruptors on the Penn State offensive line.
This year, you're going to see all 4 guys run. They all bring a different style.
The quarterback is going to read the defensive end's eyes and make a determination. Am I going to keep this football, or am I going to hand it off to the running back? And that is generally the point of the RPO. Look who we have. We have Chris Perangeli, our guest picker for the evening.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismanion.org.
And welcome back inside LaSalle College High School, a very quiet and subdued LaSalle College High School, and for good reason. Silent night here as LaSalle takes on Neumann Goretti. LaSalle in the home white uniforms, Neumann Goretti in the road black. And you'll see the student section here for LaSalle coming into your picture as we slide to half court, all dressed up, ready to go. It's a tradition here going on about 7 or 8 years now. They'll wait for the 10th point to be scored in dead silence. And then once that point is scored, they're going to go berserk. Joe, it's a great tradition. It's always one of our favorites, and excited to have you alongside.
It reflects your creativity, the LaSalle student body. Hopefully they can get an opportunity to do it early here today.
Underway here, 7:55 and counting here in the first quarter. Liam O'Donnell with the first offensive possession, his back to the basket. DePietro got into the lane, pulls it back.
Patient offensive possessions are going to be critical here today for the Explorers, slowing down this potent Neumann Goretti offense.
Blaze Vespi guards. He has some length on Liam O'Donnell. A lot of length in general, Joe. 3 guys on the floor at 6'7" or higher, and a backcourt violation as Timby tried his best to keep it in play, but stepped on the end line.
Yeah, no question about it. The correct call. You think there maybe Jake gives it an opportunity to go into the backcourt, regroup and reset, took it back with him. So the right call for the official, but a tough one nonetheless for the Explorers. An early turnover, an opportunity for Neumann to get on the board first.
In the corner, Vespi with it now, flips it back to Jordan Hall. Here's Cameron Young, who's been really good this year. Vespi thought about the 3. Still scoreless, about a minute in. Neumann Goretti's first offensive possession. Here's Chris Evans. He's a good 3-point shooter and knocks that one down.
3 for Chris Evans.
Bob was really excited coming in to get an opportunity to see Jordan Hall coming off a 21-point performance Friday night against Roman. The St. Joe's University commit moves the ball very well. Good ball handler, and excited to see a la Ben Simmons style guard play today.
6:40 to play. O'Donnell in the corner. O'Donnell thought about, or I should say, Holland thought for about the 3. Timby, no good.
Looked like Cameron Young might have got a piece on that ball.
And they'll pull it back. This is Hakeem Bird, 23 points against Carroll a few games ago, 15.8 points per game. He is as steady of a guard as there is in the Catholic League. O'Donnell on the floor for it, and LaSalle basketball. Timby up the floor, pulls it back, extra pass. Holland dials up a 3, no good, and brought down there by Jordan Hall.
Great extra pass, found the open Holland, a shot you're used to seeing him make, not able to convert.
And a grab called against LaSalle, 5:54 to play, first quarter. That's one there with Timby, Joe. It's so tough with the length of Neumann Goretti. LaSalle hasn't seen that yet, but a jump stop and a mid-range shot in transition might be better than that look they're going to get when they set the offense. Bird so quick off the dribble, couldn't finish it, and DePietro, good strong rebound, getting up by the rim to tip it to himself.
LaSalle doing a really good job throwing bodies at the basket, limiting those second chance opportunities for the Saints.
LaSalle scoreless, 5:39 to play first quarter. O'Donnell had trouble with it, now needs help. Holland, the safety valve.
Early on, the passing has been crisp for the Explorers. That's going to be key today, limiting those turnovers.
Well, it needs to be, Joe, the length of this Neumann Goretti team. We hit it at the open, but so good and so difficult. That one's out of bounds, last touched by LaSalle. Horace Simmons and Shane Holland. Some miscommunication gives it back to the Saints.
Looked like Neumann was looking to set up that trap defense. Can't let that ball get in the corner and get stuck with players the size of Jordan Hall, Cameron Young out there. It's a dangerous spot for LaSalle to be in here. Keeping the ball up towards the middle and working interior is the key.
Evans no good on that 3, brought down by Hall. Evans will try it again. He'll hoist his 3rd thus far. And LaSalle's going to get the rebound. There's Sean Jennings, the sophomore.
After just giving LaSalle the credit for getting bodies to the basket, limiting those offensive rebounds for Neumann Goretti that time, Chris Evans doing a really good job taking up space down low and then popping back out for another look. Unable to convert, 2 missed threes so far.
A reach there by Blaze Vespi. Doesn't love the call, but it's the right one as Holland went to the baseline. And you'll see the right arm of Vespi take a chop right there. And there's your foul call.
Big opportunity here for the Explorers to score near the basket like they've done so many times this year off the inbounds.
It's a strong catch there from Timby. He was tightly guarded by Hakeem Bird. Now Vespi picks up on DePietro, and that's the second foul on this possession alone for Blaze Vespi.
No surprise here that junior Hyzier Miller going to step in for Vespi. Coming off the bench, Hyzier Miller, junior, 13th leading scorer in Philadelphia Catholic League. Gotta love that firepower coming off your bench.
No doubt about it. And really, you mentioned kind of the point forward type of play from Hall and even Young to some extent. And now you can get many, many guys on the floor that can dribble it, can get to the basket and finish strong. Hyzier Miller, just another line of guards here for Neumann Goretti. Good catch there by Jennings. Timby open for three and hits it.
Such a quick release. Great ball movement by the Explorers, finding an open Timby in the corner. Deadly from that spot.
And of course, open is a relative term against this Neumann Goretti defense, is it not, Joe?
No question about it. A lot of length and quickness. They shut down passing lanes and shut down shooting opportunities in a second.
LaSalle no doubt out length here today, but the hustle is there. They're scrambling for rebounds. Newman's having trouble grasping the rebound without a hop. And now Timby again for three. That one's a bit short and stays in play. Rebound to Young. Hall, he'll dive to the hole. Good step through, but could not finish.
Got to turn that ball over and flush it, Bob.
O'Donnell gets into the lane and not a good pass there. Bird the other way. This is where Newman's so dangerous. How about that finish? Hakeem Bird.
Bird through the contact, gets the bucket, gives Neumann back the lead, but LaSalle doing a nice job early on defense, and a big part of that offense is resulting from the offense, controlling the ball, good possessions, and slowing this Neumann Goretti Saints offense down.
3:11 to play first quarter. Holland with his back to the basket. He's comfortable there as he gets through traffic. O'Donnell fortunate to get that ball back, and LaSalle, I think, can reset it. Good look for Timby. In and out in the corner. But I think you're going to rely upon the quick release of Timby here today. Evans thought about it. NBA three-point. Instead, now inside. Jordan Hall, double team back cut. Pretty, counted and one. Cameron Young off the feed from Jordan Hall, and it's a 7-3 lead for Neumann Goretti.
Cameron Young getting rewarded for the unselfishness on the offensive side. Had an open look from the corner, opted to go to Evans. That back cut and the reception and the pass from Jordan Hall leading to a basket and opportunity for the old-fashioned three-point play. Not as much contact as on the Bird take. I'm surprised to see the officials blow the whistle there, but nonetheless, it was contact.
No good on the foul shot, so ball perhaps doesn't lie, Joe. Full court pressure. Jordan Hall picks up Sean Jennings. A lot been put on his plate as the sophomore distributes wonderfully, but Liam O'Donnell couldn't finish. Extra pass to the corner, Bird for three. That's long, and O'Donnell goes up strong to get the rebound, and a foul is called against Neumann Goretti. Team's third foul early on, 2:17 to play in the first quarter.
Neumann Goretti foul number 22, Cameron Young. That's his first, team's third.
Just the first for Cameron Young. Joe, LaSalle's gotten their looks early on here.
No,
they've had opportunities to score.
And on 3 possessions in a row, it came in the form of Jake Timby from the corner. Shots that he will make if you continue to give him those opportunities. He's got one down so far. The only 3 points for the Explorers in the early going in this one. Really impressed with the play of 23 on your screen for Neumann. Jordan Hall now picking up the 4th Explorer on the offensive end as Neumann stays in that man-to-man look. Just so versatile at 6'8", can do so many things offensively, defensively. He's going to be a great fit for St. Joe's.
Nick Sforano, his first touch. Timby, good one-handed catch there.
No doubt about it. I didn't anticipate the pass coming back from Verano. Looking to try to get down to DiPietro, coming off a nice game on Friday against Judge. 12 points in the win.
Opportunity for a double team there. LaSalle able to get out of it. Timby,
good ball
extra
fake.
pass to the corner, got to go up. Does. Verano, no good. And the rebound brought down there by number 23, Jordan Hall again.
Bob, the task is tall, but I think for the Explorers, they got to try to get the ball towards the basket.
Hall for three. It's good. The big man, doesn't matter for him. Inside, outside, he can do it all.
Bob, Friday night in the win over Roman Catholic for Neumann Goretti Saints in double digits. You see early on the balance scoring today so far as 10 points spread evenly amongst 4 players. Hakeem Bird, Chris Evans, Cameron Young, and Jordan Hall. They're just such a balanced offensive attack. And for the Explorers, it's such a task in terms of not necessarily picking your poison, but just so many different opportunities they have, Neumann does, in terms of creating their own opportunities offensively. But I've been impressed with LaSalle, the tempo that they've been playing at, and the looks that they've been getting against this size of Neumann. I just think one or two aggressive takes to the hoop, even if they don't convert, at least puts them back on their toes.
And it's going to be a slam with authority for Cameron Young. And the length of Neumann Goretti can do that to you. Every pass, Joe, has to be crisp against this team so active in the passing lanes.
No question about it. The ball floated out there just a split second too long. Those long arms of Young able to take it the length of the court. And a big bucket there for Neumann as it looking to capitalize on the momentum here in the first quarter. 7
seconds left in the quarter. And it's blocked out of bounds. LaSalle will get the ball. 5 seconds left, Joe. Plenty of time here to get a good look out of your offensive set.
But for head coach Mike McKee, I think that's a look you'll take. Holland going to the basket, doesn't convert, but how many times against Bishop McDevitt High School when they needed to get the ball, get a look, wasn't Shane Holland able to use the athleticism to at least create himself an opportunity? You like the idea. You can't live and die solely from the exterior against a team like Neumann.
Nick Verano will inbound.
Nice cut from DiPietro there.
And he couldn't control it. Still time here, down to 2 seconds. They'll get a 3 at the horn. Good. Hakeem Bird, the 16-point scorer per game, ends the quarter with a flourish, and it's 15-3 Neumann Goretti. Joe, so important here. Live ball turnovers contributed to a whole bunch of those 15 for Neumann Goretti, and I think that's so important for LaSalle. Certainly something that was in the playbook coming into the game. How to limit half-court and active live ball turnovers and make them do it in the half court. That's a team that's not going to be as offensively efficient. Unfortunate for the Explorers, not making them go that route thus far.
But Bob, going to Neumann's credit is going into that full court, even though it's token pressure. Going into that full court press is keeping the ball up around the half court line. LaSalle staying in that 2-top look with Jake Timby and Shane Holland. Getting your 2 best scorers that far away from the basket makes it very difficult to score. And the opportunities that have been there are ones that you like to see. Jake Timmy from the corner, 1 of 4 from early on from beyond the arc. But those are shots that are going to go in. It's just a question of whether you have if you're going to be able to keep creating those opportunities with Neumann driving Timmy further and further away from the basket.
This portion of today's game brought to you by our partners at KC's Salle and Ambler. A great place to go. Watch the game, enjoy some time with friends, some great food. Right by, like I said, the train station. You can park there. And run by a great LaSalle family, a huge supporter of what we do here at Bob Long Sports and of LaSalle Athletics. So give them a follow on all their social media, but more importantly, go figure out what it's all about if you haven't. KC's Salle and Ambler, your best spot to watch the game.
I'll echo that thought, Bob. Great spot to watch the game.
And there's a 3 from the corner. First look at Masood Stewart. And it's an 18-3 lead for Neumann Goretti. And another giveaway. Hall goes behind his back. Thought about pulling up for the 3 there. He'll reset.
You can tell Cameron Young looking for the basketball. The senior wants his matchup against Horace Simmons. Not going to get this possession.
What a rebound inside, though. Young couldn't finish. Horace Simmons, a strong rebound from the freshman, and up the floor they come.
I think the officials missed a foul that time. Cameron Young slapping down on Simmons.
And kicked off the foot of Shane Holland out of bounds. And unfortunate for the crowd that came out here for LaSalle, Joe, but the Silent Night remains silent into the second quarter.
And until LaSalle finds a way to get the ball across half court a little bit more efficiently, it's going to stay silent on that side.
Full court pressure, a different look here coming out of that timeout.
Dangerous look here.
And it creates a wide open look, same spot. Stewart couldn't hit it this time. And let me see if I can get this one on replay. Did not see this. Tail end, look at Liam O'Donnell, bottom right.
Hand wrapped around early on. Ooh, whoa, no question about it.
Replay will not be kind to him. My goodness, that's a elbow to the jaw, and I'm surprised to see just a common foul there against number 22, Cameron Young.
Yeah, I think you pick up the body action. Young going to the, Liam going down to the floor. The officials see that, don't see the root cause of it.
But it is the second against Young. That's a strong catch there from Simmons. Got to be a little bit more crisp with these passes. One way they can get to 10, Joe, is foul shots. That's the 6th team foul already, and still 6:43 to go here in the second quarter. So chances for LaSalle, address contact, create it, and get yourself to the line. And DePietro just lost his footing. Hall the other way, Simmons there, and a ferocious slam. Timeout called by Mike McKee, and we get one more look at this thunderous dunk.
There's the athleticism. We talked about it earlier. A missed layup going to the basket. Wasn't going to allow that to happen twice. A thunderous slam as the Saints now increase that lead to 17 on a 17-0 run here since about the 6:45 mark of the first quarter.
That's about right, Joe. And I tell you what, this is a Neumann team that beat Roman Catholic in double overtime just 2 nights ago, less than 48 hours ago, truly, as this is an afternoon tilt. And yeah, every excuse in the world to come out a little bit flat, and that simply has not been the case from Carl Arragale and his team. Got to give them a lot of credit.
Coach Arragale's been doing this a long time, make no doubt about it. Double overtime game or not, you knew the Saints were going to come out and give them your best shot. Very impressed with Neumann early on, their ball movement, their athleticism. I mean, making the extra pass at this level is so critical. And you look over some of the big threes that they've had. Chris Evans, Jordan Hall, and Hakeem Byrd, all threes have come off that extra pass into the corner and the left free throw line extended. Neumann just does a really good job of being balanced on offense, and the rewards are showing for it.
O'Donnell to the 10. He's blocked from behind by Miller. Miller, not nearly the longest guy on this team, but has the hops, and it's just a general length here for this Neumann team, Joe. They can chase you down from behind.
You see Jordan Hall getting to Chris Evans, trying to get Evans to create a spot in the corner. Instead, it's going to be Nazir Miller.
Really, really nicely done there. On the feed inside, Miller uses the rim as defense against the shot blocker. And it's a 22-3 lead for Neumann Goretti.
For LaSalle, critical, just to get a good look at the basket here. Even if that means settling for a jumper, got to get a shot off. Newman's going to stay in that man-to-man look, no reason to come out of it. And with that look, they're able to bring so much extra help near the basket. You see it again, every shot contested, Bob.
Yep, and that pushes it a little bit strong off the glass and off the front rim. Stewart will pull it back, 5:18 to play. Back cut, wide open, and there's the lay-in for Masood Stewart. Joe, LaSalle just fell asleep defensively. Another timeout called by Mike McKee.
Yeah, Bob, looked like you had Jake Timby and Horace Simmons, the freshmen, both coming up, looking to help towards the middle. Masood Stewart able to slip behind, unnoticed, get to the bucket, and another easy basket for Neumann Goretti as they extend that lead now up to 21 points. Not the way you'd want Silent Night to get started for LaSalle. A lot of game left, no question about it, but for the Explorers, they got to get it figured out offensively. They're doing a better job getting the ball across into the front court. I would like to see a couple looks for Mike DiPietro. You know, only averaging about 7 points a game, but in his last 3, been doing a lot more offensively. 12 against Lansdale Catholic, 14 against Devon Prep, 12 against Father Judge. I recognize the disparity in talent between those teams and what LaSalle's going up against today, but a bit of a hot hand. You'd like to see him at least get the opportunities, the looks that LaSalle has so far not been able to capitalize upon.
This portion of today's game brought to you by Carey, Guerin, Boyle, Jim McLaughlin of the Carey, Guerin, Boyle team at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors. Both their families have been associated with LaSalle for a very, very long time. And they're also going to treat you like family when buying or selling your home with this real estate team. The LaSalle connection matters. Call Jim at 267-242-5991 or Carey at 267-626-6818 for any real estate questions. I shouldn't even say just the LaSalle connection matters. We got some other Philadelphia Catholic League folks here. The Philadelphia Catholic League connection matters. It's a brotherhood around these parts. Call Jim or Carey for any needs you may have.
And it's a loaded brotherhood this year.
You're not kidding. Timby deep beyond the three-point line now. Jennings, he'll drive. Flip it back forward to Petro, but the long Vespi, that might have been one where DePietro was able to pull up on Friday night. And that one would have been a clean pass on Friday night. Vespi and the rest of this defense just so long and so active in the passing lane.
It was a nice look there. DiPietro and Jennings playing off each other. Pietro looking for that pick and pop, but Vespi shutting it down. It goes back to our point. Neumann just closes opportunities so quickly with their size and athleticism. And more importantly than size is the length.
No doubt about that. That's a good catch there. Again, Jennings wasn't ready for it. 4:06 to play. LaSalle patient here. Timby, again a closeout, this time by Bird, but Timby in the lane, a nice runner there.
Give the Explorers 5, give Timby 5. The senior keeping the Explorers on the board.
Masood Stewart steps into that one. And nothing but net for him, 27-5, Neumann Goretti in control.
Stewart the leading scorer in this one. He's got 8 on very limited minutes, coming in and making his impression felt quickly for the Saints. Go back to him.
Here's Timby in the corner. Was looking for Jennings, but a good recovery by Hall. Holland spins, that's a good look, and he hits it. 27-7, 3:14 to play.
The Explorers inching closer and closer to that 10-point mark, Bob.
Chris Evans, no good. Jennings, a good
pull.
box out.
Good pull, that's exactly right. Getting off the floor off that good seal. LaSalle now an opportunity to take advantage and cut deeper into this Neumann lead.
A 3 gives them the 10. Whose time is it? Verano, good finish. 27-9 and a couple nice possessions. That time set up on the back screen, Joe.
Yeah, it's coming from LaSalle, pushing that tempo a little bit stronger offensively. Not settling for moving the ball around the perimeter, driving it into the basket.
Holland is fouled. 1 and 1.
Oh,
this might be.
All right.
I don't think I've ever seen it on a foul shot before.
No, I think we're making history here.
No doubt. Make or miss on this one, though.
Hopefully making history.
Make or miss on this one, Joe, as it's only a front end of the 1 and 1. Always good to see a senior do it as well. Now, obviously, LaSalle not going to be picky here today, but always nice to see a senior.
You got that right.
Is it Shane Holland's time?
There we go.
Silent night,
good
no
for the
more.
senior. Good for the senior.
Let's see if they build any momentum here, Joe. Get the crowd into it. Get the energy up. Force some turnovers.
Now they're awake. Now they're awake.
.223 to go.
LaSalle on a 6-0 streak here.
It's 27-11 the score. 2:12 to play.
Now it's Neumann looking like they're on their back heels a little bit, Bob.
NBA range 3, no good. Not the best look there. Timby, he'll drive inside. Great kick out for Holland, dialing it up. Can't hit that 3, and Vespi brings it down without a problem.
Really nice job by Timby there, collapsing the defense around the open look for Holland, not able to convert. But LaSalle again getting back on D.
Good to see Turner out there in the game, pill down a couple caroms.
Makes his impression felt, Bob.
There's a closeout.
Nice
Could have been a little pull there on the jersey.
Yeah.
That's his first, team's third. Returning the lineup for the Saints, number 10, Chris Evans.
So for the Explorers, grabbing a little bit of momentum back here. Still a 16-point disadvantage overall, but some momentum starting to swing back their way on a 6-0 run. Neumann, a minute 33 left to play here in the first half. They know how important this possession is in terms of keeping that momentum on their edge going in the second stanza.
Pulled down there by Liam O'Donnell. 1:20 to play and some momentum here at LaSalle trying to cut it. Heading into the half, see how close they can get. A basket, maybe two.
So you got to bring a body up, get some screen, a little space for Timby that time. Not coming.
Verano, a good three-point shooter. Turner, he drives inside and finishes. And look at the big man come down the floor.
8-0 run for the Explorers, time for a TO. Great job by Turner to seal the head fake, goes up with it strong with the right hand, all right hand, over the top of the 6'8" senior Jordan Hall. Using that body well, Bob.
You gotta love it. 27-13. And no doubt about it, some energy in the building here. Yes, a long way to go, Joe, but the silent night has seemed to embolden this crowd. You're seeing more energy in the building, as mentioned in LaSalle, perhaps forcing a few hoists from Neumann Goretti, and I think that's part of the discussion in the Neumann Goretti huddle right now.
Has to be, and a big part of that, Bob, we were talking about for Neumann is the balance that they've established and shown demonstrated throughout the season so far. Now selling for those deep looks for Jordan Hall. An efficient scorer, no doubt, coming off a 21-point performance Friday night, but there are better looks available for Neumann with so much attention being taken up by Jordan Hall and Cameron Young.
Don't think they started the clock. Or perhaps they started it too early. Jason Isley having a discussion at the scorer's table here with the official.
It sounded to me like the conversation from the official was that you got to start the clock. So I'm not sure where the communication. I'm trying to take my headphones off a little bit to listen in. So it sounds like they have it on the scoreboard in front of them. It's just not showing up. So does that put the official in the position of timing it out himself?
Interesting. It's 49.7 that it says right now.
Okay.
Let's keep it and see what now it is churning down from 49. We take under 45 seconds to play. Hakeem Bird will dribble it out near the timeline. I think this is the right decision here, Joe, for Neumann Goretti. Stymie the momentum, make it a minimum 14-point advantage going into the half.
Head coach Mike McKee can take advantage of this, though. The example going to the locker room is these guys, this team full of all-stars, they're looking to slow it down against you. That can be turned as a momentum builder for the Explorers as they're forcing Neumann to slow it down here to finish up this first half where so much of it dominated by Neumann. But LaSalle now on a 10-0 run.
Under 10 to play. Hyzier Miller against the entire LaSalle defense as he got to the rim and will shoot two at the line. What a move there by Miller. Quickness off the dribble to the left hand.
I think LaSalle's done a really good job against Hyzier Miller. An efficient scorer coming off the bench, 15 points per game, only with 2 so far in this one. A big reason why he's been limited in those opportunities has been the play of Shane Holland. The combination of Holland and Timby rotating through on Miller has forced the junior into some tough looks as he breaks the scoring drought for Neumann and extends that lead to 15.
2.6 is left on the clock here, Joe. What you really want to avoid is some sort of full court pass, heave, interception, and one more look for Neumann at the end of the half as well.
Yeah, I think you're content here at 2.6 seconds to let that clock finish out. Go in, trail by 16, but with momentum back building toward your side.
Neumann Goretti, they're going to pressure the inbound. Nick Verano at the horn. No good, did clank the backboard, but we go to half. Neumann Goretti 29, LaSalle 13. We did get to the 10 threshold, Joe, and it was electric here. And LaSalle was able to build some momentum. The deficit got down to 14. It's now at 16 heading into the half, but I think something to build from this Explorer team. Knock down the turnovers. Don't give them active opportunities to get down the floor, live ball opportunities. And for LaSalle, I think Jake Timby is a guy who's going to get going here and a guy that can have an ultra-quick release. My favorite, he's like jumping and shooting out of a phone booth there, right? He can get rid of it so quickly.
And he wants to.
When he wants to, no doubt. He does want to. I think that's the key for the second half. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, you've done a nice job in that second quarter coming back out and forcing players outside of Jordan Hall and Cameron Young to be the ones to beat you. Masur Stewart comes off, gets 8 quick points. LaSalle slows that down. And overall, a strong second quarter, trailing by 16 still. But for LaSalle, there's momentum to be had just from that fact. At one point, down by as many as 23. It's now to 16. You're looking to cut that into a manageable margin going into the fourth quarter. I think LaSalle's done enough there in the second quarter to show you they can do it.
Halftime here from LaSalle College High School. Bob Long, Joe winning. We'll take a break, come back on the other side for the beginning of the second half here on Bob Long Sports.
Here on Frankfurt Avenue.
Generation after generation, our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dumpy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dumpyford.com.
Come experience the Dumpy difference. You'll be glad you did.
I chose CCM because I have found that this company, on the level of scaling that we have here, the volume that we are doing, to truly have every department head and employee fully engaged in the mission of the company to make it an originator-focused, production-first company. I have not found that anywhere I've worked, and I've worked at one of the largest banks in the world, down to the smallest tiny community bank and correspondent lender. No one has been able to consistently deliver that message.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Nittany Lions Sports Report. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Nittany Lions Sports Report live on Bob Long Sports. Today we're going to talk about the offensive line and our man of the hour, the chef, the man himself, Des Holmes and Mike Miranda, your disruptors on the Penn State offensive line.
This year, you're going to see all 4 guys run. They all bring a different style.
The quarterback is going to read the defensive end's eyes and make a determination. Am I going to keep this football or am I going to hand it off to the running back? And that is generally the point of the RPO. Look who we have. We have Chris Perangeli, our guest picker for the evening.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismanion.org.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue.
Generation after generation, our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
I chose CCM because I have found that this company, on the level of scaling that we have here, the volume that we are doing, to truly have every department head and employee fully engaged in the mission of the company to make it an originator-focused, production-first company. I have not found that anywhere I've worked, and I've worked at one of the largest banks in the world, down to the smallest tiny community bank and correspondent lender. No one has been able to consistently deliver that message.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Nittany Lions Sports Report. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Nittany Lions Sports Report live on Bob Long Sports. Today we're going to talk about the offensive line and our man of the hour, the chef, the man himself, Des Holmes and Mike Miranda, your disruptors on the Penn State offensive line.
This year, you're going to see all four guys run. They all bring a different style.
The quarterback is going to read the defensive end's eyes and make a determination. Am I going to keep this football or am I going to hand it off to the running back? And that is generally the point of the RPO. Look who we have. We have Chris Perangeli, our guest picker for the evening.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismanion.org.
Welcome back inside LaSalle College High School. It's the second half of a Philadelphia Catholic League matchup between LaSalle College High School and Neumann Goretti High School. Bob Long, Joe Winning, Keegan O'Donnell with us, helping us out on camera. It's silent night, no more here at LaSalle College High School. This student section got up. It was Shane Holland on a free throw, I think for the first time, Joe, that put LaSalle over the threshold, and a nice little run in the later stages of that first half. Let's see if they can keep the momentum going. LaSalle in white, Neumann Goretti in black.
For Neumann, no surprise, to come back out in that man-to-man defense. Looking to stay disruptive in the passing lanes, and again, foul trouble. That's 3 now on 22, Cameron Young. Inhibited with foul trouble in the first half, limited his playing time in the second quarter. Hopefully that's a continuing theme, will help the Explorers claw their way back into this one.
And he does stay on the floor for the time being. Here's Timby coming off a double ball screen. He'll bring it back to the logo. They'll set up. First possession of the second half. LaSalle trails by 16 here at home.
That matchup, Timby, Vespi on Timby is not a bad one for the Explorers to try to capitalize on, but Holland
Really good finish there by Shane Holland, and he's been the one guy. Timby as well, he hit a nice runner in the lane, but that has not been afraid to get deep in the lane and take a shot.
We talked about how important that is, the extra pass. Ball's loose.
And couldn't keep it in, but great effort by these LaSalle Explorers. One more look.
I think that
cross-court pass, but it's going to be Timby and O'Donnell getting in there. O'Donnell poked it loose.
I think that ball went out twice, Bob. Right here, one more time along the sideline. Good call by the officials, good defense by the Explorers.
Vespi no good from 3, and LaSalle with the basketball, under 7 minutes to play. Holland, great look, and he mishandled it. Horace Simmons. O'Donnell with the hustle the other way. LaSalle might have numbers. Watch the pull-up. Timby. In and out. Simmons.
Redeem yourself.
Why not?
Bang!
Jake Timby for 3. It's 29-18. LaSalle coming back.
You can credit that turnover last possession to Jordan Hall. Way too patient letting that ball get there. Now the Neumann Goretti Saints look like they're all out of sorts. The Explorers an opportunity to get this to a single-digit lead for Neumann.
And I think it's number 30 right in front of you. Jake Timby has to be the guy. Can he get open looks? At what point do they just throw a guy on him? I think that time is going to be about now. Hakeem Bird on Timby. I don't know that he leaves him for the rest of this game.
The matchup earlier on was Vespi guarding up against going up against Timby. Now I think this is the look the Saints want. Ooh.
Horace Simmons for 3. That's long. And brought down there by Bird.
Not a bad look. That's good to better, but I think for the senior Timby, that's a shot you're willing to let him take.
That one's good for 3. Jordan Hall, 3. Timeout, Carl Aragale. And it's a big 3, I think, there for Neumann Goretti, Joe. Stymie some of that LaSalle momentum. Stop the clock and talk about things a little bit.
No doubt about it, but Bob, for the Explorers coming out here, it's still a 14-point deficit, but it was at 16.5. So LaSalle having the chance now on offense to continue to dig in and get good looks towards the basket. As we said on the last possession, Jake Timby working along the baseline, beat Bird off the dribble. I thought he had a look there to pull up for that 15-footer.
I agree.
Or the floater even closer. Decided to kick it to the corner. That's a tough spot for the freshman Horace Simmons. A good look, doesn't fall, but nonetheless for a freshman in that position, he's out there really defensively and trying to clean up the glass.
And Horace Simmons has had a good last few possessions from a hustle perspective, got the offensive rebound that led to the first Timby 3, but also on 2 of the last 3 possessions has fumbled the ball a little bit. On that 3-point shot, he fumbled it first, then kind of recoiled and hoisted. That's tough, Joe, especially for a freshman here. You're kind of out of rhythm once that happens. Might be good to kick it out at that point and kind of restart the offense if you're Simmons. Full court pressure here from Neumann Goretti. It's a 14-point lead, but again, feels a lot more competitive than it did midway through the second quarter. LaSalle getting better looks offensively, turning the ball over a little bit less.
I think Mike DiPietro maybe got away with a little bit of a push-off there. Not called, no harm, no foul. Go back to the senior, towards the bucket.
It's a jump ball.
Yep.
Great job by Vespi there. That's a tremendous defensive play.
Staying straight up and down. No contact, step with the ball. Good call by the officials all over it. And for the Explorers, you like going down, you like feeding the big man, the senior, trying to get him involved. Been quiet so far, scoreless so far. So like to get him on the scoreboard, but the defensive Neumann just suffocating.
Hall with it, draws the ire of the LaSalle student section. Here's Cam Young with 3 fouls.
Looking.
Cam Young for 3. Shoots right over top of the 2-3 zone, and LaSalle trails by 17.
So much balance. Sezier Miller with 7. Cam Young, he's got 7. Jordan Hall with 8. Just so many ways that Neumann Goretti puts points on the board.
And another giveaway. Live ball, pull up, got it. Hakeem Bird for 3, and 3 straight trays for Neumann Goretti. Extends the lead to 20. And that's how quick it can be against a team like the Saints, Joe.
There's so many ways that they can attack, so many ways that they can create. You're seeing that now. Bird, give him 7. So amongst those 4 players, combine those for 29 of Neumann's 38 points. Just so effective offensively.
Good pull up there in the mid-range for the freshman Horace Simmons. 38-20, 4:14 to play third quarter.
The first player for the Explorers not named Timby or Holland to get a bucket here in the second half.
And now up floor is Simmons. A good decision there, though, not to toss it up floor. O'Donnell. Holland with a pull-up. Couldn't hit it. Got his own rebound, though. A hustle play from Holland. DePietro for three. Got it. And it's 15. LaSalle crawling back. A good 5-point spurt to answer Neumann Goretti's 9-point run.
Yeah, not sure whether they were satisfied, Neumann was satisfied just to give DiPietro that look, or if he somehow got lost, but a wide open bucket there. And for the senior, nice, really good way to get yourself involved. Maybe you can carry a little momentum.
No good that time. A little push, wasn't called. Now Chris Evans, he's great from deep. Not that time. Skying high and a rebound foul. Going into the shooting motion was number 22, Cameron Young.
And you watch Cameron Young there attacking the basket, coming from behind. Nope. Now you see him with the ball in his hands. Easy call for the official. But coming to get that, clean the glass, offensive rebounds, limiting those is so important for LaSalle. Second chance opportunity that Neumann looks like they're going to be able to take advantage of, and do.
It's a soft roll off the front rim. Nice from the big man there.
And for the Saints, a perfect day so far from the free throw line. Haven't gotten there often. LaSalle not in foul trouble in the first half, only one here in the second.
They stay perfect. 40-23, 3:17 to play, third quarter.
At this point in the first half, you had Neumann at least a little bit of foul trouble with 4. Now Neumann only 1, give him 2 for LaSalle. I mean, a big, at least an opportunity to get yourself back into a better position in terms of the score of this game would be doing so from the free throw line. So give Neumann 2 personal fouls here in the second half. Whew.
That was dangerous there, Joe. I heard the exasperation in your voice there as that one came in. Holland, unafraid, puts it high off the glass, no. A little shorthand. Timby got his hands on it. Miller still with it, steps through. That's too good. Timby able to knock the ball loose, and that's a great play. But just the sheer athleticism from Miller to be able to recover and essentially, Joe, all in one motion, get to the rack.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Hyzier Miller not named when you talk about the starters. Doesn't come out with the starting lineup, but that's by name only. He is certainly a key contributor for this team, a double-digit scorer, a top scorer in the Philadelphia Catholic League, and it's on display today.
Shane Holland no good. Here comes the runner. Euro step, and DePietro fouls him. Clear foul there as he'll send Miller to the line.
Yes, he's such an athletic play here, going to the basket, elevating up, holding the ball that split second longer, gives DiPietro no opportunity. He's out of rhythm, trying to pace the attempt, looking for the block, gets himself so far out of rhythm, you have no choice there but to come down in the foul.
Funny, even long rebounds, Joe, can be turned into transition opportunities by this Neumann Goretti team. It's not just live ball turnovers.
No, this team is looking to get out and push it, and that has been their MO this season, a lot of high-scoring efforts. And when you have so many different ways that you can score, I mean, you've seen the three-point display put on by Jordan Hall in this game. You combine that with Cameron Young, the slashing ability of Hyzier Miller, and they're fundamentally sound. They do the right things. They're perfect from the free throw line today. A big reason why they're up 21 at the moment. A perfect 8 of 8 from the free throw line for the Saints.
Shane Holland against a man-to-man look. And good hands there by Jordan Hall, knocked out of bounds. LaSalle basketball, 1:58 to play.
And there, you like the idea. If you get the ball through to him, you have Jordan Hall elevated up above right below the free throw line. So it would have been an opportunity for Timmy from the corner. Unfortunately, not able to get the pass through, but the Explorers keep possession here. And with just 2 minutes to play in the third quarter, it's do or die.
Verano, a good closeout there as he goes through space and throws it away. Tried to put some elevation on it, and just a bit too much over the top of the 6'5" DePietro.
And I think with the score at the moment. If you're Nick Serrano, you go up there and you go strong. Even if it's into a jump stop for a shot off, or you just keep going to the bucket. I think you got to keep looking to get attacking the rim and stop pushing the ball out to the exterior.
Strength there from Hakeem Bird, but could not finish. Really did all the hard work there, Joe, and then the little floater wouldn't go. Back cutting Timby. Too strong off the glass as he was trying to avoid Vespi. Even the thought of Vespi can be so difficult, and he tried to bring the house down. They're going to call the foul on the reach halfway home, but just another show of athleticism.
Yeah, the Bowling Green commit exploding off the floor, looking for that power slam. Gets rewarded with a, so it's going to be ball underneath, no shot. Going back to that last look for Jake Vespi. Jake Timby. A lot of credit goes to Vespi there. The timing not to leave the floor until he absolutely had to. That length. LaSalle knows he's there, knows he's looming. You combine that with a 6'8" Jordan Hall and the 6'4" Cameron Young. There's just so much size and so much length on this Neumann Goretti team. But for LaSalle, you have to be committed to attacking and taking those chances.
Jennings has a touch as he gets into the lane, and he's blocked.
Case in point.
Cameron Young up for Hall, and they'll pull it up. 43 seconds left. Deep three. It's good. Hasir Miller for three.
Give him 14-7 in the third quarter alone. Hasir Miller is so dangerous with the ball in his hands.
And O'Donnell lays it in.
Good bucket for the Explorers. You see head coach Carl Arragale calling for the walk, maybe. But
17
regardless.
seconds left, and yes, LaSalle gets a bucket in the column, 47-25, with 10 seconds left in the third. It's Miller looking towards the scoreboard. He'll pull it up again.
Why not?
And hit it, nothing but net. Hasir Miller, that'll be the end of the third. Shot did not get off. And we'll head to the fourth. Neumann Goretti 50, LaSalle 25. It's the Hasir Miller show here in the late stages of the third. Joe, we talk about this LaSalle team, and obviously playing a Neumann Goretti team that most likely will be the #1 seed come mid-February in the Catholic League playoffs, and the reason being they'd have to lose twice to Roman Catholic to jump them, and Roman Catholic would have to lose no more games. Because of the head-to-head on Friday night, Neumann Goretti has that inside track, and in the deepest league we've seen, that's quite an impressive feat. So take this game out of the equation. However, LaSalle certainly has its work ahead of itself as 3 wins in the league. 4, I think, gives you a chance to go to the playoffs, and we talked about a little bit off air. There are 5, 6 teams at the bottom end of the standings right now that are all going to be fighting for that 10th spot. Specifically, I'm talking about West Catholic, Devon Prep, and really St. Joe's Prep potentially as well. St. Joe's Prep has the better record now. They have the 4 wins, but all of those teams that they would play in the bottom third of the standings, they've already played every one of those games. And I do think that there is a chance that LaSalle would play St. Joseph's Prep on the last day of the season. Again, St. Joseph's Prep wins 1 game, and I think this discussion's somewhat moot. But could LaSalle win that game on the last game of the season and have a head-to-head advantage over St. Joe's Prep for that 10th spot? Only time will tell. I think trying to snag 1 more game at minimum besides a necessary St. Joe's Prep win. We're going to call that a must-win, even sitting here today on the 19th of January. 1 more might be a necessity for this LaSalle team. The issue is who they play. Bonner Prendergast next Friday night. Archbishop Carroll the following Sunday. Roman Catholic on the 31st of January, and then Archbishop Wood on Friday, February 7th. That all leads into the St. Joe's Prep game on the 9th of February. I think that's kind of the discussion here for LaSalle, is how do you find your way to the 8, 9, maybe 10 seed heading into the playoffs? And I think it's absolutely the St. Joe's game and maybe 1 more game to give yourself a bit of cushion.
Yeah, and you're surprised at looking at last year's talent on Bonner Prendergast's team, how much they lost, but how strong they've come back under head coach Kevin Funston. Got to be impressed with the job that he's done out at Bonner and keeping that program rolling. And that's going to be a tough matchup for the Explorers come Friday night.
Foul called in the backcourt. That's the fourth against Isaiah Miller.
That's his fourth, team's fourth.
So maybe the one way to stop Miller is to get him off the floor, Joe.
Anything will help.
However, 4 fouls isn't going to do that as he remains out there. And we've seen this for years from Arrowgale, a notoriously short bench. And no different here.
Yeah, similar coaching styles between him and head coach Speedy Morris for the Prep. Short benches, play all 32.
Simmons go right back up, don't put it on the floor. He's fouled from behind and he'll shoot 2 at the line.
Yeah, just that split-second hesitation allows the defender to recover, regroup, and get back off the floor. Shot gets blocked from behind. We're going to call a foul. Puts the freshman at the free throw line. You know, I think as you see Horace Simmons' game progress over the next couple of years, that might be one that doesn't come back down at all. The timing will get better. The anticipation should improve. And if nothing else, don't bring it all the way back down. You don't need to reload at with that stature. You can go right back up and reload it at the basket, not regrouping underneath.
Bingo, Joe. Couldn't have said it better. And that's the beautiful thing about freshmen. When you're getting this type of run here at the varsity level, as LaSalle's going to get another possession. Timby for 3. He saw it was short. Simmons another rebound, too strong off the glass. And Joe, the bones are there, no doubt about it. All the facets of the game that you want, just a bit more refinement like we're talking about. And this freshman, he's going to be a stud here in the Catholic League.
You can't teach one, two, and you can't teach activity. He's so active without the ball in his hands, so active on the glass. There's a lot to like from the freshman. And all the time he's getting gets big-time talent like Neumann Goretti today is going to pay off in years to come.
Nick Sverano hits the 3. It's 50-28. Vespi heads down to the floor with some contact there with Simmons. 6:16 to play. Neumann Goretti leading by 22. Well on their way to another victory. LaSalle trying to keep this tight. Vespi, that one hit the wire above the netting. Out of play, back to LaSalle.
Bob, got to give the student section a lot of credit here, too, sticking through it with the Explorers down 22, 6